Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, afternoon. This is Helene with Restart and to our ArtSnacks boxes. Now, I know it's the end of April, but I have had a bit of it to get my art stuff going. Actually, things are picking up and it's just busy. Also with the kids home and getting my teeth fixed, which I think I've talked about in the other videos. It's been kind of crazy. So I hope you enjoy this. We are going to do yellow artwork from the box. We are also going to take this in the box. Let's see. I think I turned this around. I'm sorry. Again, it's been a long. So the first thing we have here is just kind of showing you what the box, what it is, how it comes. I don't usually do this, but I thought, whatever, I'll leave it in because you kind of see how exciting it. I look forward to it so much every month. It's like, I know it's really sad, but I'm excited when it comes up. So the first thing we're going to talk about, and this is the ArtSnacks Plus. We've got the Marabu Graphix Marker 3 by 7. Retails for $24.99. A new product, and I will tell you, it is fan-bloody-tastic. I love this paper. I've used it so much since we got it. It's 100% cellulose paper, and I'll show you, but it doesn't throw it all. I mean, it is so fun. I had such a good time using it. Just kind of showing you again the breakdown of what we have here and go through there. So yeah, I had an implant put into my tooth the other day, and so it's driving me a little bit crazy if I sound, that's why. Okay, so let's get started on what's in the ArtSnacks. The first items we're going to talk about are the Tombow ABT Pro alcohol-based markers. They are a staff favorite. They retail for $5.99, and then we got the set in the plus box as well. We have a Pentel Arts color brush pen for $8.39. We'll go into that more later. We have the Pentel GraphGear 300 mechanical pencil, 7 millimeters. It's for $4.99. It retails for $4.99. I love this mechanical pencil, by the way. It's one of my new favorites. I don't know why I like it so much. I like the sizing, but it has an eraser. It's got a great balance to it. Feels good to write with, draw with, sketch with. Super happy with it. It's actually, like I said, one of my favorites. And then we have our sticker, and I didn't open it, and I kind of wish I had ahead of time, but the Kuretake-ZIG Cocoiro, I don't know if I'm saying that right, letter pen for $7. We're going to get into this here as we start drawing, and I'll tell you more about it. Please like, follow, subscribe. All my information is here if you want to follow up. I also have a little discount for any of my work on my website. But you can find me on eBay, Amazon, Instagram, all these other places. Please share and follow. I am trying to build. I know I'm new to this, but I'm trying to open up and be a little bit more myself in these videos. So I hope that you will help me grow. Okay, so now here is the fun part. This is where we are going to try everything and play. This is my favorite part of doing these videos because I have a set of these. I'll have to show you one day. Like, I keep them all together. So every month I can go back and go, oh, I'm using this. What did it do? How did it react? And I can kind of play with it a little bit more. It's really, really fun because I learn more about my tools and my products. This is where I'm showing you the paper. I drew everything out. And listen, I know my handwriting sucks. I get it, okay? Try to read it if you can. But this is all done with the Kuretake-ZIG pen. And then we're going to go back in. So you can see I'm using that now. Oh, wait, no. When I broke this down, I think I just used a regular, black marker or something, just so you could see it better, because, again, my handwriting. But the Kuretake, what I'm writing down the colors with, and then kind of playing with the different colors, that's the Kuretake. But we'll talk about that. So these are the alcohol markers that we got, and you can see they go through, but they do not go onto the other paper. And I can layer. I'm telling you, this paper is the coolest paper. I really, really like. So we're gonna start with the P912, which is the one that came in the regular ArtSnacks box, and I'm just playing with it. It's an alcohol-based marker. I mean, I liked it. I do some alcohol-based marker drawing, and I'll show you all the other colors later, and I'm glad I got the color I got. I had a lot of fun playing with it. It layered nice, it blended nice. You can get several different sizes, I should say. It's an alcohol-based marker. If you've never used them, they're super fun to use for doing any kind of cartoon work or I like to use to do skin with them. So, this is the Kuretake-ZIG Cocoiro. I don't know if I'm saying that. Cocoiro? I don't know. Somebody correct me. Anyways, it's you can customize the way you draw. You can refill it, which is kind of cool. It's derived from the Japanese words Cocoiro. So it's got to be Cocoiro. It means heart, and iro meaning color. So it's like heart of, it's water-based, black ink, super fine tip. You can get really, really fine marks with it. Super, super skinny marks. I loved it. And again, you can change it out. It's real easy to do. I liked it. I even put my wow. I love this really. How many times am I going to say I love it? I loved it. Okay, so let me give you a little history. God, here I go again. I love a lot of things. I get mad at my girls all the time. I hate this. I'm like, stop saying hate. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I guess there's worse things. So this is the Pentel Arts Color Brush Pen. I do a lot of watercolor. And so these pens are really, really fun. It's a water-based dye ink. It flows easily, dries quickly, produces transparent watercolor effects. You can do lots of big, wide, sweeping strokes or super tiny strokes. Add water to it to create different effects. I will tell you, this paper is not great with water. It did buckle pretty badly in the areas that now you could probably use light water, or you can, of course, use it to color it. It bled through, but it didn't bleed through papers behind it, which is good. But just, it's really made more for like pen, ink, maybe. I did a colored pencil drawing, but it doesn't have enough texture. It's super smooth. So I would stick with like alcohol markers. So now we have the Pentel GraphGear 300 mechanical pencil, 7 millimeters. Again, I really enjoyed this product. One of the things I like about ArtSnacks is that I'm new-ish to the art community, and I didn't really know what was out there. And I tend to be kind of an art supply snob, and I like to find things that are not like normal, regular everyday products. So I search for things that, like, I love colored pencils, and I know that everybody likes certain colored pencils. So I'm like, there's got to be something else out there that I can find. And I was like that as a hairdresser too. I didn't want to use the products that everybody else used. I wanted to find something better and more underground, which is so bloody stupid because the products are good. The ones that are good are good. But I've learned so much about these products, even though they are more mainstream. I just really have enjoyed them. And Pentel's, that's a pretty big name. So anyhow, you can see, let me go on. There's an eraser cap to it. It's made to last. Of course, you can change the leads in it, but it's really soft to hold, easy to hold. I like. So now I'm showing you the Tombow. These are more Tombow alcohol-based markers. The set was $29.99. That came with the ArtSnacks Plus. And again, I have a ton of alcohol markers because I am a snob when it comes to having my tools. In fact, I got a new computer yesterday. I'm so excited about it. I'll have to tell you what it is. It's a Dell G7. I don't know if it's any good. It's my first gaming computer to do more editing and video work, and I'm doing digital art. I got a Huey on tablet so that I can start doing more digital art. I'm going to do a video later and show you something that I've been working on. It's my first full digital art, so hopefully you guys like it. It's not an original design. I had to copy it because I'm learning, but I'm on Skillshare like a crazy person, so trying to, learn as much as I can. So anyways, here I am kind of blending some colors. Obviously, these colors were a little bit difficult to blend because they were too far apart. When I blended the colors together that are closer together, it was a much nicer result. And when you see the final painting that we do or artwork that we do, you'll be able to see. But again, this is why I have this paper, right? I have this paper so that I can play and try different things and see what works and what doesn't work and so on. Sorry, I needed some coffee. Okay, so see, I even had to write it. I was like, I'm an idiot. I know how to do this. Why did I? But, this is why we try our tools. This is why we have spec sheets for ourselves and to know and to remember. If you're like me and you go and try different mediums and you're from one to the next, sometimes I get into one and I'm like, oh, I have to remember how to do this now, or I have to remember, all the details. So you can see here, this blends a lot better. And they are really nice to use. They feel good. They're good in the hands. They're smooth. The colors were vibrant. I didn't have any issues with layering. The saturation was good. You can add, get them pretty dark. So yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I was happy overall. I attempted to do, I don't even know if I want to share it because I attempted to do a cartoon for the first time, which I don't do very often, of a person, and it was not very good, but I enjoyed using markers to color it in. So we talked a little bit about the Marabu Graphix marker paper already, and oh, I was using that little cut right there. I was using Jazza's. I was doing a picture and I wanted to talk about it, so I left that little piece in. I was using, if you guys haven't downloaded this yet, Jazza has an app that you can download on your iPad. I'm assuming on, all the other devices as well. And it'll tell you what to draw. So originally when I drew the picture I was talking about before, it was like draw a makeup artist, a dead makeup artist with big lips and there was a chicken involved. I don't even know, but it was like this crazy scene. And so I tried to attempt it, but it was not good. So I defaulted to something I knew I could do. I knew I could do well, and I knew would show this collection off. So what I did first is I used my Pentel GraphGear 300 mechanical pencil, and I sketched out a basic idea of what I wanted to do. I just felt like a yellow rose, pretty, or some kind of yellow flower. And so I began sketching that out first. I always wear my glove. I made fun of it because I wear this thing everywhere I go. I have it on all the time. I forget to take it off. I sleep with the darn thing. Probably pretty gnarly. I need to probably get some other ones. I mean, it's clean. I clean it. It's not like dirty or anything, but I always have it on because if my hands touch the paper, it gets real oily, or I'm afraid I'm going to smudge it. And with this paper being as smooth as it is, I was really concerned with that. So I tried to, when you're drawing flowers, something. Okay, let me preface this with, I have only started drawing less than a year. I've been drawing. Okay, I was a full-time hairdresser, salon owner, business owner. I had my children and I wanted to spend more time with them as they were getting older, and I sold my business. Well, there's more to that story, but I got rid of my business and I started drawing. It was more of a stress reliever at the beginning, and slowly I just discovered that I had this amazing passion for it. I am not an amazing artist when it comes to drawing. I am fairly good with color, I think, because of my old job. I am pretty good with looking at something and being able to draw it. But one of the things that I really am working towards is learning how to draw like instinctively, and just being able to go, I want to draw, this thing or this person, and being able to do it without having any kind of reference. And I know that that's a big ask, because I think a lot of artists use references. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad. However, it's just a goal of mine. So I've been doing a lot of digital art because I can do it quickly, erase it, and practice, without wasting paper or, tools or whatever. I think it's a good way to go. So you can follow me and see my progress. I do sell quite a bit of art online, and I've done very well. I prefer darker pieces, bloody skulls, that type of stuff, and it sells better than most of my other stuff. But I sell, kind of a range of things. I dabbled in a lot of different things. I tend to like to do oil painting, watercolor, but, sort of depends. So when I started, anyways, going back, okay, I digress. Going back to the picture that I'm drawing here, I did have a couple references. It wasn't one photo that I copied, it was several references. I had one for the leaves, one's not copied necessarily. And what I've learned with flowers, having done many now in the year, I should say it's been a little bit longer than a year. I didn't start doing it seriously till a year, but I was dabbling, like I was doing Bob Ross paintings maybe 6 months before that, because again, it was just to de-stress when I was at home, when I wasn't working all the time. So anyhow, what I found is that flowers are really forgiving, and so if you're wanting to learn, it's a really good starting point. It taught me a lot about shape and empty space, and leaves come in all different shapes, petals come in all different shapes and sizes. It taught me about lighting and where the light is coming from and how that would react on a, like a long tubular surface. The leaves, how they would react to leaves, which are all kinds of different shapes. And then the round form of the rose, like where would the light be reflected on that. So I know I'm talking a lot, but to me, this was, doing these were really, really helpful, and I would do them over and over and over again. And now I'm able to pretty much do all the time. So anyhow, I'm starting with the stem just so that you can kind of see where things are at, because I know with the pencil it's really hard to see. And I'm just sort of outlining where I want these dark areas to be. This paper does not take water very well, so in order to use the paper and use everything in the box, I had to, sort of figure out what was going to go on top of what and how it was going to work together, and how I was going to use all the tools in a way that would be really pretty and not interfere with each other. If you've ever tried to put what's it called? Like watercolor over alcohol, they don't mix very well. So, but I will tell you later on in the video, I come up with a really cool trick to use that pencil a little bit more. So anyhow, the stem is done with, I had the Sepia is the color tone I got in the Pentel art color brush. I really like these ink brushes. They're really cool. I have a million of them. They're really fun to use, and they are easy to take them places. They're portable. It's easier than watercolor. I get a water brush, a few of those, and I'm go. So the first thing I do is I lay down that dark where the stem is. I know where it's at. I can start to see balance in my painting or artwork and sort of figure out how big this rose needs to be if I need to exaggerate it more than what I did in my drawing. So the first thing I do is I start putting kind of that lighter yellow. I shouldn't even say the lighter. It's not really the lighter. It's like if you have 4 colors, it's like the second to lightest one, right in the middle, sort of the lighter part of the middle. I always think of alcohol markers in terms of like 2s. So you have like a light and a darker light, and then you have a mid and a darker mid, and then you have your dark and your dark. So if you think about that, and you have 6 colors, which ideally I had in this situation, then you can sort of lay them out that way, and your shading and stuff will be better. You can also leave white on paper. I did not in this particular piece because I really wanted it to pop. Plus, I feel like when you leave white as highlight, it doesn't always look as realistic. White is very pretty, and if there's a huge bright light on it, it will look sort of white. But the reality is there's still pigment there. So the lightest of the colors, which is, well, you'll have to go back because I can't see it right now. On my sheet, you'd think I'd have it right in front of me. Where the heck did I put it? It's probably because I've been running around. So the lightest of these colors, you can start with that and add that in so you know where it's at. But I left it white, and then I could go back in and blend it with that, second level mid-tone color. And then you can layer on top to create your darker areas, and then use your lighter to create your lighter areas. Alcohol markers are interesting because when you use plain alcohol or the lighter colors, they will actually blend to create a really nice fade from light to dark, and actually lift some of the pigment off from the darker color. So it's a really fun thing. So I just layered and layered and layered to create as much contrast in these pieces. Of course, 2 cards. So you'll see I start adding some of the medium dark color onto the bottom, because obviously that's where it's going to be the darkest. Unless you've got a light shining up, it would be the opposite. But I always think about where my light source is coming from, how that's going to react. In this case, the light is coming from the upper right hand corner. I tend to do that. I don't know if that's like every artist does that. It's just kind of what I do. And guys, just so you know, I do speed these up. I'm not real slow when it comes to this because I'm newer. I tend to be a little bit more careful. But I also have to stop like every 5 seconds because I have kids. And they're like, Mom, Mom, Mom. So sometimes I have to edit these together and make them a little quicker, because every time I sit down, I have to like reset up and where was I at? Where am I? And all that. So, mom life. So just finding where the petals are at this point. I sort of sketched some out. One of the issues I did have was, and of course I didn't really think about this because I thought I laid it down pretty light. Usually when I do drawing, and I did that in this case as well, is I do my outline in my pencil. I erase most of the pencil so I can just get a very, very, tiny amount of outline. And so that I'm not blending the alcohol markers with the graphite because it can make it very muddy. It did, however, pick up on the lighter colors in some areas, but I made it work. And you'll see in a little bit, I sort of use that as some shadow. Most flowers are not perfect. They have some like brown areas and some gray areas. And when I was looking at some of my references, I was like, oh, I got this. I'll make it work. We go make it work. So I was able to do that. And then when I do the leaves later, oh my God, it's cool. I love it. You're going to love it. It's like the neatest thing. Because I had to make it work. I don't have green, right? How am I going to make green? Does anyone know? If you know how I'm going to make the green, leave it in the comments. I'm just curious if anybody would have figured this out. I figured it out sort of by accident. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I don't know why this excited so much, but I was like, oh my God, how can I make like a dark... I've got this graphite pencil and I've got these yellows. I wonder if that will make sort of a brownish green color, right? It will darken it a little bit, add a little bit of that, graphite tone, and oh my God, it like made the most beautiful color. So I colored all the leaves with the graphite, and then over top of the leaves I used different variations of the markers, dark to light, light to dark, to create these leaves. And how cool did this come out? I'm telling you, I was so impressed. I was like, yes. What do my kids say? Bro, yes, bro. Is that cool now? I don't know. Still, my 6-year-old's cool. I think it's really annoying. Yes, bro. Yeah, girl. Oh my God. I'm 40. I don't look 40, and I don't act 40. I act like I'm a kid, but no, I don't. But I don't look 40. I got good skin. Maybe it's because I'm a little heavy, and so it's like having filler. I don't know. I'll start showing my face more eventually. I got to get that confidence level up. So you can see, these leaves, I'm just kind of throwing them in there. I mean, leaves can be all kinds of different shapes. Play with them. Get a piece of paper out, draw leaf shapes. Find a bunch of references and start drawing leaves. I mean, I'm looking out my window right now and I see, even on like a little bush that has little tiny leaves, they're all different shapes and sizes. And when you look at them, if you're outside and you look at them, depending on where the light hits, where you're viewing, your perception of them, they can look flat, they can look full, they can look dark, they can look light. I mean, it's just cool. It's kind of to take the time to, reflect on them. So yeah, I think it came out really pretty. As far as the rose goes, I may do I'm starting to work on some Skillshare classes, and I'll be adding that on probably within the next year. I'm giving myself some time because, again, this is still pretty new and I want to write them and I want them to be good. I was an educator for many, many years as a hairdresser. Very good, pretty, famous hairdresser, and pretty, out there educator. And I traveled all over the world and I got to do some really cool things. That being said, I sort of missed that part of that. And so I kind of want to see if I can do some training in the Skillshare world or in the art world now that I'm learning it. But I'm not an artist that's been doing it for 20 years. I didn't start in high school or even doodle, really. It just wasn't really a thing until, what started it was my mom started collecting, and she was buying all this art from these artists online, and I started following some of these artists, and I was like, man, this is amazing to just watch these people pull this stuff together. And then I became obsessed with Jazza and developed a mom crush. You know how that is. Maybe you don't. Maybe I'm just crazy. I'm sort of teasing, but he's adorable. I love him. I think he's so he seems like he'd be a really nice guy. I don't know if he is. He seems like he would be. I don't know. So I'm just continuing. And again, you'll see that I'm going back and forth with these colors. There really wasn't a rhyme or reason. I just wanted to make sure that wherever the leaf was facing the light source, there were lighter colors. Where it was against the light source, there were darker colors. And that's not always the case either, because you have reflection from one leaf onto another, or you have one leaf blocking another leaf. So when you're doing something like this, you can be a little bit liberal with how you're applying these colors. And then when I was blending them, they blended great with the graphite. It was really pretty magic. But when you're doing this, you can just kind of play with different, colors and tones, and just make sure you're layering them properly. With alcohol markers, you want to start with, your lightest, add your dark, go back to your light. So it's like 1, 2, 3, light, dark, light, or light, mid, light. Or if you're doing light, mid, dark, you can do light, mid, dark, or just, and then light all over, right? So that's how you're going to blend those. So it's a little time consuming, but worth it, I think. So I'm just going back and doing a few little details. I fixed some of those gray areas and made them stand out. Added some highlights. Took out some color with some alcohol. Not alcohol, with the lightest Tombow pen. It was really light. It was a really, really nice, light yellow. And if you want to see what colors they are, it's the yellow kit. I got the yellow kit. It was just all the yellows, like 9P479er. something. I don't know. It's all on there. If you want to see it, go back to, where am I at? Like 6:15-ish? 6:15-ish? 6:15 to like 8:20 something. If you go back there, you'll be able to see it. So here's the finished rose. I did add some more depth with my graphite. Is this going to last forever and ever? I don't really know. I don't know if alcohol markers over top of graphite is going to last forever. I don't think alcohol markers are made to do that anyway. But it's very beautiful, and I was very happy with it. And yeah, I'm just adding a few more details. And oh, and I always tape my stuff down. And you may notice that I didn't, and then I went back and did it, because I skipped over a few things just so that you didn't have to watch or hear my voice through this entire video. But y'all are going to start seeing my face soon, because I got new equipment and new cameras coming and new stuff. And I'm going to do that little box thing where you have to look at me the whole time. Isn't that exciting? I got to figure out how to do it. I'll take any advice I'm learning. I told my mom last night, I said, oh, maybe I'm too old to start YouTube. Like all these young, cute girls. I'm cute. I'm hella cute. But I'm a little chubby. I don't care about that much. I just feel like, am I too old to start this? I don't really know. Y'all let me know. Let me know how you like the rose. I was really happy. So I realized at this point that I had not used the Cocoiro, the color heart pen. And I was like, I gotta use some of it. I haven't used it at all. So I went back and I added a few just little areas of darker to separate the petals. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have if I didn't have that in the box. But it worked great. It came out good and added a little bit more depth. So I was happy with it. And it's water-based, so I could have probably made it a little grayer and put it in, use just the ink itself with a brush and some water. But I didn't want to mess up the graphite or anything else. So, plus that pen was so fine and so beautiful. I was able to do some real fine details without having to change the image very much. It was, pretty easy to backtrack and stick some of those on there and create a little bit of extra depth. Again, kind of paying attention to where that light would be. I imagine it like right over the rose, right? Guys, thank you so much. Please follow, like, subscribe, all those things. Go check my art out on eBay, on my website, on Etsy, all those other places. I hope you enjoy. I will see you on the next one, and hopefully you will be seeing much more of my face very soon. This is Michael Helene with Michael Helene Restart. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon, evening, or morning, whatever time it is for you. Take care now. Bye-bye.